The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to John.
Glory to you, O Lord.
Jesus moved about within Galilee. He did not wish to travel in Judea because the Jews were trying to kill him. But the Jewish feast of tabernacles was near. When his brothers had gone up to the feast, he himself also went up, not openly, but as it were in secret. Some of the inhabitants of Jerusalem said, "Is he not the one they are trying to kill? And look, he is speaking openly, and they say nothing to him. Could the authorities have realized that he is the Christ? But we know where he is from. When the Christ comes, no one will know where he is from." So Jesus cried out in the temple area as he was teaching and said, "You know me, and also know where I am from. Yet I did not come on my own, but the one who sent me, whom you do not know, is true. I know him because I am from him, and he sent me." So they tried to arrest him, but no one laid a hand upon him, because his hour had not yet come. The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
It's a tough little gospel that we have this morning in the midst of this great penitential Mass. This Friday, the fourth week of Lent, we can feel that things are kind of bubbling up. We're nearing the end of the Lenten season, and we have to remain focused here, especially at the end. And some of the ways that we remain focused are to continue our works of penance as we go: prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. Yeah, but here we see in the passage, although it's a little bit chopped up, anytime you get a passage like this, right? This is the 7th chapter of the Gospel of John, verses 1 to 2, 10, and 25 to 30. So when you get it a bit chopped up like that, you know it's going to be a bit hard to keep it in its context, and it's going to be a bit hard to understand. But what Jesus has done just prior to this is he has made a man who could not walk, he made him walk. A man who was really struggling, he brought to new life. And he did that on a Sabbath, and that led then the authorities to condemn Jesus. They wanted to see him killed. They didn't trust him, all this kind of stuff. And then Jesus' response is in part what he gives here. And there's some tough stuff, there are some tough words here. Because Jesus says to them, "You know me, and also know where I am from." This is a reference to his humble upbringings. This is not, he doesn't come back and say, "I'm from God the Father," right? Although he wants to insinuate that. He says, "Yet I did not come on my own. The one who sent me, whom you do not know, is true." And this is the challenge that faces us. It's a perennial Christian challenge. If we want to know God, we have to look at Jesus. The Jesus who breaks the Sabbath. And we don't understand that terribly well, but we have to look at him. He's our only way to get orientation. We have to look at him. If we want to know God, if we want to live in the promise and the blessing of God, we have to look at Jesus, we have to trust him, we have to follow him. And maybe this is a good question for us in the many, and we can do this in our classes. I know, put the teachers on the hook, just like that. It's a special gift I have, is to say we can think about Jesus and all the many scenes that we see him in the gospel, and I think especially you see Jesus on the cross, and to ask ourselves, what does that mean about God? This is God in the flesh, Jesus. And maybe the cross, maybe the sacraments, maybe the Eucharist. What do we know about God as Jesus reveals him to be? Because that needs to be our orientation. And one of the things I would say today is that Jesus is nothing other than love in the flesh. And in Jesus, we see just how strong God's love is. And one of the most significant ways for us to see the strength of God's love is that He is willing to suffer. He's willing to suffer whatever it takes to bring us back. And we have to embody that love today. We have to embody a love that is willing even to suffer in order to bring people back, in order to extend mercy, in order to bring the love of God to life, the love of God that heals people, even on a Sabbath, if it happens to be so.